So let's bring in Rina Shah. She's a political strategist and former senior Republican presidential campaign advisor and joins us live now from Washington, D.C. Rina, always good to have you with us here on Al Jazeera. So Trump now says he won't have a second debate against Harris because he won the first debate. But most polls, most critics say, look, Harris won the encounter. So is Trump running scared? And why is he saying this now, do you think?
Very simply put, former President Trump does not want to give Vice President Kamala Harris what she wants. She is asking for another debate because she gave a very good performance that many were not expecting this past week. There was a lot of dread, it seemed, as this debate approached, both from Democrats and Republicans. And of course, the sort of sense in Washington was, what can we expect? Are we waiting to expect the unexpected, given what we saw earlier this summer from Joe Biden and what led to his dropout from the race? It was that one debate with Trump. So when Kamala Harris came to the stage and she showed that she could not just hold her own, but she could meet the moment and exceed expectations by conducting herself in a manner that many say led her to win this debate. I think it's right of her to ask for another one, and it's right of him to decline having another one as well.
Yeah, and Rina, you just heard Kamala Harris say there that the candidates owe it to the voters to have another debate. But does she really want another debate with Trump, or is she just capitalizing on her win in the first round? I mean, even the former New Jersey governor, Chris Christie, has urged Harris not to debate Trump again.
Well, it's rather funny coming from former New Jersey Governor Chris Christie, that sense that she should not debate Trump again. It was Christie who floundered on the GOP primary debate stages last fall, when so many people were expecting so much more from him, more bravado, more substance and depth. He was not able to meet the moment. So I think his criticism, or his advice rather, should not be listened to in this moment. But going beyond that, let's look at why Harris wants to meet again. She's already seeing a bump in the polls. She's seeing more favorables in terms of her impression on independently minded suburban women in particular. And 7 states are going to determine the outcome of this election. We cannot keep saying that enough, because it's almost leaving the other 43 states to believe that we don't matter. But when it comes to the Sun Belt versus the Rust Belt, she is looking, again, not just to reintroduce herself, but to leave an impression on these voters, many of who are actually going to be seeing ballots, if they've got early ballots and absentee ballots requested. In certain states, they're going to be registering their vote very soon. So again, she would like another debate because it helps her in the polls and it does increase her favorables in general. But also, when you look at why Trump doesn't want to debate again, you're also seeing that deficiency in him, that sense that maybe it would be a toss-up this next time. Would he do better? Would he do worse? It's anybody's guess.
Yeah, and Rina, interestingly, Trump and his supporters claimed that the 2 ABC journalists who moderated the debate were unfair and biased in favour of Harris. And this complaint has gained some publicity over the last few days. Would you agree with Trump's assessment of the moderators, just very quickly?
I disagree with the assessment that the moderators showed any bias. Maybe there were moments in which they let him talk more, and perhaps they didn't really check her in certain moments. But I think that's getting too much into the weeds. In general, these moderators showed that they could remain objective. They didn't change their nonverbals much. They pretty much ran this debate by the book. And I think that should be commended. Of course, Trump is going to come out when he felt, and many of his supporters concede that he did not do well in this debate. So, of course, he's going to attack the moderators.
All right, Rina Shah, always good to get your thoughts and your analysis. Rina, thank you very much indeed for talking to us.
Thank you for having me.